Good morning. Hand today is going to be pocket nines. In this hand, I'm under the gun. I open raise, and I get two callers. Open raise is pretty standard, so that's my range. These callers, based on their stats, are going to be similar. I think this caller is going to be a slightly wider. I'm going to assume they probably make similar 3-bets. I've got 234 hands on him. We know he's made it 3 out of 102 times, so like a 3% range. That's like queens plus ace king, maybe like ace queen suited along with that. So kind of queens plus ace king and ace queen suited. That's right around 3% or so. It's probably a 3-bet range. He is in early position, and he called an early position raise, and he doesn't look like an early position, like he is overly loose. So, this is the first time he's called a 2-bet. He's only played 17% of hands here. So I'm kind of thinking, some of these mid-pocket pairs, not even down to like 5s or 4s. I think these mid-pocket pairs are going to be heavy in his range, and then these like suited broadways and maybe these suited connectors. I'm not sure if we can include 8-7 and 9-8. I don't know if he goes down that wide. He might not even have 10-9, but I think this is somewhat of his range, and this is going to be a similar range to the next person. Now they're in middle position. We can see middle position stats, plays a little bit more, fewer hands, but he's played more. And it looks like he's at least called from middle position once. 3-bet set, he hasn't 3-bet out of 27 attempts. I'm going to say he's probably going to 3-bet with the same type of hands, queens plus ace queen. I think I'm going to add his pocket pair down to 5. Maybe we could go 4. I'm going to expand his suited connector ranges. Give him more suited broadways and so forth. So we go to a flop of queen 8-3 with 2 hearts. So here we have a kind of a big rag board. We're out of position. What do we do? I think on these types of boards, we're going to probably check, especially into 3 opponents. Yeah, we have a 9, but I think we're going for a check call here. I think queens, 8s, those are all hands that could be in villain's range, and being out of position is going to be hard. So I kind of think we're going to be checking here and planning to call if one of these players bets. Are we going to be checking everything? I think we're going to be checking most of our hands. We're obviously going to, we can have some checks or some bets here. I think maybe trip queens, maybe. I actually think we might have more check raises, more checks with the plan of check raising on some of these boards. So I think we're targeting like 8s. If we have 8s, that would be a good check raising range. If we have like queens, possibly if our overpair may be used as a check raise range. So I think just in general, I'm not sure if we're going to be betting 100% here, or even close to 100% here. I'll say if we have to put together a range, we are going to be going for a check raise on the 8s. I think we're going to probably use check call for queens. Take that back. I think we can lead with the queens. I think we can possibly lead with some of our aces. I think especially if we have the ace of hearts, we're going to lead here. And probably the kings. Again, especially if we have the king of hearts. I think we're more likely to lead with the ace of hearts than with the king of hearts, because the ace of hearts blocks the ace x flush draws, which are going to be a little bit more likely. Typically, they're going to be more likely. In these ranges, probably not. I'm going to say probably we don't have that huge ace X suited in their ranges. So aces and kings, we're going to somewhat lead. We're going to be a little bit likely to call with those as well. Somewhat check call, sometimes check raise, I think. Let's just do this. I think queens are led. We'll take those out. I think we'll check our ace and king. I think we'll lead our ace queen, probably king queen. We will check our queen jack queen 10. We're going to be checking those under pairs. We're going to be checking our middle pair. Going to be checking those. We're going to be using some of these as check calls and check raises. So I think we're probably betting take those out. Eight, 9, 10, 9, 10, and 10 jack. But we can use those possibly as a check raise. Probably those as a check raise as well. Gut shots are going to be a check, probably check call without the flush draw. So I think that's it. What else do we have? I think that's what we have. So I bet. Don't like this play. Don't like this play at all. And we get called. Not by that guy, by this guy. So what can he have? On a call like this, he's got a caller behind him. I'm thinking top pair plus. Possibly the flush draw. Don't think the gut shot's going to be calling, so we're looking at something like this. I think we're way behind once we bet and call, and it's going to be hard for us to play from that point on. So I don't like how I played this at all. We could assume that a lot of those hands I was still going to bet, but I think this is a check call. Ace of spades is surprisingly good for us because I do think we have ace X in our range, and I think we could use some of those as a bet. If we checked and it checked through, I think we would probably check again. Here I chose to bet. Again, I think this is a little bit better because once he called, we know he's probably has queen. So of all the hands that we had checked, I think we would still probably go ahead and start betting with our set. I think we'd bet with our top pair hand for some value. I think we'd probably bet for some pocket pair less than the top card. Middle pair probably check. Again, I think this hand was all screwed up. I don't think it should have been leading here. But villain calls, so against that lead, what is he going to be calling in this spot? I think he still calls with flush draws, possibly with any open ender that he still has. Queen jack. I mean, that's still part of your flush draw. So you had your flush draw. I think middle pair here, I think still calls with the queen. I think he's going to call at least once. He's got his queen. So river 8 pairs the board. We continue on. If he's got a flush draw, we can still bet, and we could bet for control, so a half pot bet. Again, I think we lost too much here. I'm sure I lost this hand. He calls because the question is, what is he going to call with? Well, if he doesn't believe us, and when he called with the queen, he's going to call that queen again. All the flushes missed, which means it's a very small percentage of his range that he's gonna fold. So I think it's kind of futile to make this play, to make this bet, and hope we get him to fold. I understand why I did it, because there was a flush and a draw, a spade, and he probably could have been calling with all of those, but I don't like him. So he shows king queen. That is in his range. We had that picked. So I think what we're going to do is take this note here, just so we can record that he called 3 big blind, called under the guns 3 big blind RFI in EP with king queen clubs. He is effectively in position. So he called 50%, call 50%, call 50% on a queen of hearts, 8 of spades, 3 of hearts board, ace of spades, and 8 of clubs. Yeah, I don't like this board. I don't like how I played it. I think we should have checked it. I think if it checks through, we check again on the turn. If it checks through, we probably just check again, and if there's a bet, we could probably call. Kind of somewhat expect to lose, but I mean, it just, would villain bet as a bluff? Maybe. Definitely, if we check the flop and he bets, we call. And then we check to him on the turn. If he checks through, that's great. And then on the 8, then I think we can fire, and at that point we may be able to get the queen to fold. I think that looks to be our best plan at this hand. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.